Hello. Welcome to this sort of announcement-ish video. There is no game, there is no reaction. It's just me and the camera. Y'all remember when I used to do that back in the day? In like 2019 and the old PC, right? In that old office, I would like every few weeks, I just make an announcement video saying here's what we're gonna do or here's what's happening. And well, we're bringing that back because summer is in 1 week. Summer is gonna be here for me. I don't know about you, but for me, summer's gonna be here, which means I'm about to launch my biggest project to date. It's a little something I've been cooking up for about 5 months. I call it Nostalgia Summer. Okay, you may be asking yourself, what is that? Well, Nostalgia Summer is where I'm going to be playing 10 games. 10 games that people that have been following the gaming world for quite some time are going to be like, oh, yeah, I know those. I'm going to quickly go through all 10 of the games. And yeah, and keep in mind, these games are like they have made an impact on the gaming world, which is why these immortalized works are going to be played on the channel. Some of them are games that I wanted to play for some time and haven't. Some of the games I plan to, we finally get to play these amazing games. First off, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Now, some of y'all may not know what that is. It's a sort of indie horror game. Came out in 2010, but it gave rise to many YouTubers. Markiplier, PewDiePie, they all found their origin from Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And many mods have been made about the game, many different stories and fan games, and it's just one of those immortalized horror games of the 2010s. You'll find that. All right, number 2, Aoni. Y'all remember 2012 when this very short puzzle indie Japanese horror game Aoni came out? Everybody played it, and then nobody talked about it. It got a few movies, got a Netflix film. I haven't seen it, but Aoni's gonna be game number 2, just because, it's just one of those games that's just like it captures the time, if that makes sense. It captures the 2012 era, and it just captures. I think it just captures my childhood in a way. All right, number 3. I'm sure y'all have heard this one. It got pretty popular. The Last of Us. It got an HBO show. Everybody knows about it. I don't even have to explain it. But The Last of Us, mainly because The Last of Us is just such an important game. Minus the show, just it's an important game. It started an argument back in 2013. Are video games considered art? It was that good. I did play the game before. I played it way back in 2020. I also played the first bit of Part 2. That game sucked. I'm probably never gonna play The Last of Us Part 2 on the channel. I just could not finish it. But I will play that first one because I loved the first game. Because now we have a PlayStation, which I am going to be playing on the PlayStation. I'm not going to be playing. I know there's a PC remastered, but you got to play on the PlayStation. It's the original experience, and it's the way that it was intended. So I'm going to be playing on the PlayStation for The Last of Us Part 1. All right, number 4. I'm playing Crash Bandicoot, the first one. So I have the trilogy, the remastered trilogy. I got it a few years ago, and I've definitely played through the entire first game. I'm only gonna play part 1. I'm not gonna play the entire trilogy. I'm only gonna play just the first original game. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing all the gems and all of the other stuff. Probably not. But if I do, which I have done that before, then I will. But most likely not. But oh my gosh, Norton, shut up! I don't care. Anyways, yeah, that's Crash Bandicoot, just because iconic remaster of the 90s. And I know the game came out in 2017, it isn't exactly a nostalgic hit, but I am counting remasters for this list, and you'll see there are a few remasters. Um, Number 5, Papers, Please. Papers, Please came out in 2013. It was one of the top 10 games of the 2010s rated by IGN. Everybody just about loves it. Everybody just about knows it, or at least knows the concept. Papers, Please is just one of those indie games that's just like, oh yeah, we've heard of that. I've seen Jacksepticeye play it before. Yeah, we know. So I'm playing Papers, Please. It just feels like one of those games that I would play. I definitely planned on playing it before, but I never did get to it. So, yeah, that's Papers, Please. Number 6, Inside. Inside. If y'all remember back in 2021 in January, I played Limbo. Limbo is made, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, by the same people that made Inside. Or rather, Inside is made by the same people that made Limbo, because Limbo came out in 2011, and Inside came out in 2014. However, Inside is another nostalgic hit that a lot of people, they just know it. It's it's a game very similar to Limbo, and I did like Limbo. It was a very fun, eerie kind of puzzle game, so can't wait to see how Inside does that. Number 7, Bioshock. I'm doing the remastered Bioshock, to be clear. So, Bioshock. If y'all remember, I usually like to reference this game a lot because it's just like it's the game that inspired a lot of just a lot of mechanics and the way of storytelling for other certain horror games like Bendy and the Ink Machine, for example. Bioshock was like the genesis of that kind of eerie, convoluted yet incredibly interesting kind of storytelling. So we're gonna be playing Bioshock Remastered for number 7. Number 8, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, the 2020 remake. That's gonna be our newest game, technically speaking, but since Final Fantasy VII was a very much nostalgic hit in the 1990s, we're gonna bring it back with the remake. I don't know much about Final Fantasy VII. In fact, I don't know much about the Final Fantasy franchise as a whole. I just know that everybody loves Final Fantasy, so I decided to stick with it. Number 9, Gone Home. Gone Home is a short little game. Came out in 2013. It's another one of those short indie games that just captures the time, kind of out Oni, kind of Inside, kind of Papers, Please kind of deal. Gone Home, I have played before. I have played Gone Home. It is certainly just one of those games that just it makes you feel like you're in a simpler time, which is why Nostalgia Summer perfect for that kind of game. And then to wrap it up, Celeste, the 2018 platformer, not exactly nostalgic for some, but 2018 feels so long ago, so it's good enough for me. And Celeste, platformer, indie platformer. There's a lot of indie games on this list. You'll find that there is a lot of indie games on this list, and that is just because they have so much passion put into them, made by the few developers in the developing team, and they're just they bring so much light to the gaming world, and they just really do capture the time. So that's going to be Nostalgia Summer. So, to recap, first off, Amnesia the Dark Descent. Second, Ao Oni. Third, The Last of Us. 4, Crash Bandicoot. 5, Papers, Please. 6, Inside. 7, Bioshock. 8, Final Fantasy. 9, Gone Home. And then Celeste. And those are going to be the 10 games I'm going to play all throughout the summer. Starting on Thursday, May the 18th. I don't know why I didn't say that sooner. Starting Thursday on May the 18th, on my last day of school, and I finally get out of here, we are going to be starting Nostalgia Summer, and then it will end, I guess, on the day I get back to school, or it will just end. And if school starts before I finish all the games, then it will just end when I beat Celeste. So that is all I have to say, and I will see you in 1 week for Nostalgia Summer.